So how do we get people to come to the website? This is really about making it attractive, making it searchable, making it findable. So first thing I find very helpful is to think like a visitor. What do they want from your website? I know what I want to I know what I want them to do. I want them to sign up for a free trial. I want them to pick up the phone. I want them to engage with me as a potential customer. Great. But that's probably not how they see it. They're evaluating applications. They're looking at different things. They're typing in, I don't know, online purchase orders, or they're typing in online purchasing, or they're typing purchase order template. I mean, you know, I need to think about the kinds of questions they are going to ask. And this is a series of personas which Microsoft and lots of marketing companies use to try and envisage who is coming. And I think this is very helpful. I find it as a writer very helpful to think about what people read. So if I'm writing a website for Microsoft aimed at IT decision makers, I'm going to think about, well, what else are they reading? They might read The Economist if they're senior. They probably read computing. But actually online, they're reading Tech Radar and Engadget and all these sort of gadgety type things. They might read Wired. So we kind of need to write like that. And we need to think about, you know, what their priorities are. Well, they have career priorities, they have work priorities, that kind of thing. So writing this out and just sort of forcing yourself to picture different people and different use cases, very helpful. You can buy visitors, right? I'm going to demonstrate what happens, right? You have a huge furnace here. You have a big pile of money here, right? This furnace is called Google AdWords, and you go, and you do that until this pile of money has disappeared. It kind of works in some cases. Hands up if you've used Google AdWords or Bing. Yeah? How's it working for you guys? Yeah? A lot of, seriously, people typing in, I want to charter a private jet, and then they go click on the Google ad. Okay, all right. Okay, go into the jet business. Who else was using? How's it working for you?
Mixed. Sometimes it works incredibly well, and other times it doesn't work at all.
Yeah. I use it for Turbine, and I watch like a hawk the cost per conversion. This is the principal guiding metric, right? So I'm tracking people all the way through this trial sign-up process, and I'm looking at, you know, what proportion of my visitors from Google AdWords became trial customers, right? That cost in advertising to get one of those, and the sign-up ratio, very important to me. And at the moment it gets too high, I scale back my ads, or I use that as a clue that I've got to go and change the adverts. Do you have somebody professionally doing it for you? Do you have like a Google AdWords person who knows it's you? Okay.
Yeah.
You do have somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's you need. My experience, I think you need a little bit of expert help, if only just to set up campaigns. Okay. So it has its place. Another thought about websites. I think landing pages are the new home pages, and a landing page is a sort of keyword optimized page that you're trying to link to ad campaigns, or you're trying to link to search engine optimization keywords. So you might have a bunch of different landing pages for different kinds of use cases, different personas, different ad campaigns. Because what you're trying to do with the ad campaigns is maximize the quality score by really matching up with the ad against the copy. In this case, this is Joost de Valk, Dutch guy, yay. And what he has is a WordPress search engine optimization, like everything you ever wanted to know. He is like the guru of WordPress search engine optimization. He is like the man who does it. This thing is thousands of words long, and he keeps it up to date, and he completely dominates WordPress SEO. This is just, look, you know, there he is with his picture, and there's a link to that article, there's his plugin, there's his thing, and actually he's got the next 4 or 5 slots, right? And he's not exactly selling, but he's got a plugin, he's got services around this. If you need WordPress SEO, he's the guy you're going to find just because he's doing that. He's not advertising. He's doing it off this and off his blog and some other stuff that he does. It's content that's driving it. So you can be an authority. Little tip here, by the way. When you are testing the searchability of your web page, you want to open an anonymous, like a secret agent web page in Internet Explorer or in Google Chrome, because Google remembers what you clicked on before. So actually, if you just go to Google on your browser and you type Yoast WordPress SEO, it will find that because you've searched on it before, and it kind of went, oh, okay, I'll come to you in just a sec. So if you go and open an anonymous window, it hasn't got a cookie to track, and it's just giving you the raw native Google search results, which is, it's a useful thing. You had a question?
Yes. What's a plugin, and what are you buying from him exactly?
Oh. Okay. Hands up if you've heard of WordPress.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. 17% of the websites on the internet run on WordPress, so maybe that explains it. Okay. A plugin is a piece of code that you can buy or get for nothing that drops into WordPress and extends the functionality of WordPress. So if you've got a WordPress site and you buy, it's a WordPress SEO plugin from him, actually he gives it away, but he asks for donations. What it does is it helps you search engine optimize WordPress. But there are other, you do the same stuff for other website content management systems. It's not, I'm not here to sell WordPress, but just using him as an example of how this sort of keyword domination works. Okay. Have you heard of PageRank? No? Yes? Hands up if you've heard. Okay, about half, good. PageRank is Google's score for how credible your page is. If you've got a PageRank of 10, you're the BBC. If you've got a PageRank of 0, you're not on the internet. Most people are 1, 2, 3, lucky if they're 4. 5, really, you should be very happy if you get a PageRank of 5. I think I did a test on him, and he had a PageRank of 5 out of 10 for this. And this is a very authoritative, much linked page. This is probably as high as a small business is going to get, I would say. Maybe 6 if you're super, super good.
How do you find out the PageRank?
You find out the page. It's a good question. Thank you very much. There are some websites you can do it, but actually the best way to do it is to download the Google Toolbar, and when you visit a page, it just tells you. If you're using Chrome, you can download an extension to Chrome, and it will tell you as well. And you just go onto the Chrome extension marketplace. If you're not using it, Google Chrome, it's the way to go. Okay. Good. So how do you find the keywords that you want to score against, right? Google says the best way to get found is write text that is easy to read, okay? This is the important thing that matters. You can do all this sort of clever Google SEO stuff. Good content is what gets you found. Have a meaningful 404 page. When you search for something and the page has disappeared or closed or whatever, a web server will throw up a 404 error page. If you put something on there that is meaningful, like these guys have put a search box or a sitemap, it's much better than you've come to a blank page. So one job of writing for the web is to make sure that your 404 page has some copy on it and isn't just an error message. The next thing you want to do is make sure that the words you use in anchor text, which means the text that is, when you make a link on a web page and it says click here to go to this, that anchor text is descriptive of what the link is, okay? This is also important for SEO and actually usability. So if you have baseball card, baseball card, baseball card, the user knows it's about baseball cards and Google knows that. Page summaries. This is a stand first or an introductory paragraph for civilians. If you put that in bold, you're saying to Google that it's text that is privileged, it's irrelevant to the page. You're also doing a big favor to the visitor, because if that is not the page that they're looking for, you're helping them get out of there quickly and onto something else. And they can maybe click on these links, or they can click on a menu and go somewhere else quickly. Okay?
Sorry, just
yes.
Putting it in bold is a signal to Google.
So Google will pay extra attention to stuff that is in, there isn't one on here, but a headline using an H1 tag. And then it will give extra attention to link text. It will give extra attention to captions on photos. It will give extra attention to the alt text on photos, to things that you put in bold. Basically anything that makes the text stand out from the body text. It doesn't only use that, but it gives Google a flavor of what that page is about. So we put a lot of effort into highlighting key phrases in bold. It helps the reader find what they're looking for, and also it helps Google understand. Google's a machine. It's not reading your text. It's using maths to decide what's important and to look for combinations of words or frequently used words on a page. This is a video clip, but let's say that is Adli Mahmoud. You would want to have his name in the alt text. You would want to have his name in the photo, Ahmed .jpeg in the actual file name, and you would want to have his name in the alt text for it, and actually also, yeah, you see, look, they've got a caption here. Captions are really, really helpful, partly because people always read them. Why? I don't know. We're programmed to read captions, big tip. But also Google's going to get that because that is a metadata for that photo. It's attached to that photo. So now when you go to Google and you type that person's name, and it's on the BBC, and it's, you know, you've loaded that up with lots and lots of clues of who that photo is of, you've made that very searchable. And by the way, people use Google image search as much, not as much, they also use it as an adjunct to photo search. So you can actually get traffic to your website just from the text, from the pictures and the text you put behind them. Okay, descriptive headlines. Again, this is helpful for visitors to decide whether or not a page is useful, whether it has information that's valuable, but it also helps Google, and in this case it's about Google, find, you know, some information like, so Silicon Valley is a phrase. You might type airport Silicon Valley, you might get this article, you might type Google's new terminal, you might find this. And putting 82 million makes it very exciting and sexy for people to click on, because people, at least on Forbes, this blog here, people like expensive, glamorous, glitzy things. Yeah, this got 72,000 views, so I suspect this was very much to do with the search engine optimization. Okay, use the reader's words, the visitor's words, not yours. This is my accountant's website. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I worked on an earlier version, and they wanted to call outsourced accountancy financial management solutions. Now, if you are a business and you want an outsourced accountant, finance director on a virtual basis, we use this service. They're very good guys, do a good job. You are not going to go to Google and you're not going to make an evaluation when you come to this website, financial management services. You're going to go, that is not what I am looking for. So use their language, not your language. Another bit of important writing that you have to do on a web page, which you don't see as a visitor, is meta copy, meta text. Okay, so every web page can have a title. Every web page can have a description. And every page, well, this has a keyword. You can also put meta tags in here, which I think is now advised against, but that's a long story. So we are trying to focus this page on the phrase purchase order. So we've used purchase orders in the title, we've used purchase orders in the meta description, and we've used it in the text, we've used it in the heading tags, and so on. So we've threaded that phrase, which is a phrase that people are searching for, people are looking for, through the text. And you see when that copy comes through into Google, this is what the visitor sees. A nice clear description, it's got it in the URL, it's got it in the headline, it's got it in that. Now, that is a nicely formatted bit of meta text. And that's writing. You have to write that. You know, no one's going to do it for you. So that's a bit of text that you can do for yourself that most people are not doing. Yes, sir, at the back. No, you.
Can I ask you a question about your last point? How do you find the words that they would use? Is it just simply through keyword research, or?
Yes. There is, I'm just scanning ahead to see if I put a slide in about this. I don't think I did. If I did, when we get to it, I'll skip it. But there is a tool called Google Ads Keyword Research, and you can go in there and you can type something like outsourced accountants, and it will give you a list of all the keywords that people are searching for that are like that, how contested they are, meaning how many other people, you know, how competitive that keyword is, and how often it's searched for. Okay, so that's one way of getting at it. Yes. And you can the trick is to Google Ads keyword tool, and then you'll find it. That's one way of finding keywords, and quite often it throws up some really surprising stuff. Like you might type in purchase orders, and it will come back with an American phrase for purchase orders that I've never heard of. So that's one way of getting at it. Going back to those user personas is another way of getting at it. You know, you can ask yourself, well, what would Jane call this? What would John call this? How would they describe it? In our business, we do a lot of interviews, and sometimes asking people, you know, literally just, hey, you know, this is what our website is. Is that how you? What would you call that? What words would you pick out of that? You can do some nice testing for this. Okay. Don't forget pictures. I just talked about that, but here is where you would put that text in. This is using WordPress, but there are different ways of doing it in different content systems. And you see there's alt text, which is the text that someone who has visual impairment would have read to them instead of seeing the picture, but it is actually also useful descriptive information for Google. And then there is a caption, which then appears under the text. And this has also, you can just see at the end here, a little bit of the file name. And again, it has A350XWB in it. So this is now a very easily found picture of A350. Maybe somebody types that, they open the page up, and they might read the article. Google+, this is something that is worth joining, registering. It is something that you can use as a tool for improving the search engine optimization of your page. How? First of all, you can +1 pages, and you can encourage other people to. Secondly, you can use Google author tags to get your name next to articles you've written. And thirdly, you can beat your nemesis, Dr. Matthew Stibber, to the first 2 spots on Google. Okay, so that is sort of the framing. How do we get them in the door? What can we do as a writer to make our website findable?